this new set, got the new telly up and everything, you're out here dossing about.
It's nice day.
Just having a break. Well, I got a new guy to help me.
Who's the new guy?
Who is the new? Hey!
Come on! Let's get some work done, eh?
Oh, mate, why don't you come and join us?
Oh, well, maybe I will, yeah. Not quite cooked yet.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to today's Swarf and Chips at the new time of 12:30. It is a two-part show and it is all dedicated to the MACH event. We had such a brilliant time, didn't we, gents?
Brilliant show.
You smell sausages?
Something.
Yeah, there's a few sausages around here. Anyway, so it's a two-part show this week and next week. Don't forget the new time is what?
12:30.
Yes, it is. And the show is going to be dedicated. We've got 20 videos. I'm going to talk about those videos. So if you missed MACH, don't panic at all. Sit back, relax with your lunch or your cup of tea. You are going to see Swarf and Chips' biggest fan during today's show, actually. But there's one of us missing. Who's missing in the group?
Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
Silver Fox.
Who's
that?
Where would he be?
Yeah.
He's enjoying that one, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He certainly is. Now, also, we'd like to hear from your best memories of the MACH show. We too are going to write some of our best memories in the comments box below, but please feel free to do so whilst watching the video or at the end of the video too.
And you can also visit our MACH micro site, which is mtd@mach.com. and you'll be able to see all the videos that we shot throughout the week.
Now, we'd like to send a massive thank you to our sponsors of the week. So on Monday, we were with MACH. On Tuesday, DMG Mori. On Wednesday, NCMT. And on Thursday, Star. It was a great show had by so many. But let's kick-start.
Who was the biggest fan?
Who's the biggest fan? Oh, you'll
Geo.
find that out later. Geo.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously. Right, let's kick-start then. So, the first video is on the MACH stand. Paul, you were speaking to Lawrence
Okay,
here.
yes. What a machine this is. This has got 40 pallets. So it's all about getting the unmanned run, the overnight run. But I think the thing that stands out for me in this machine is actually the 5-axis machine itself, because it's so easy to get in. It's such a versatile offering. And I think if you saw this, I know you came on a trip with me around the stand, didn't you, Lindsay?
Yes.
It's a neat footprint. Like I say, you've got 40 pallets, press the button and go home.
Yeah, 205 tools are standard. Why do you think the tool goes out the back of the machine tool on the tool change?
I would assume for floor space.
Yeah, and it's probably close to the workpiece as well, so you may be eliminating,
which is key. But they push heavily about the actual automation, don't they? And the fact they've got this loading, which is great for the unmanned run. But I actually looked at it and I got inside, I opened the door and I thought, actually, this 5-axis is lovely. Whether it comes with the automation or not, it's a superb
And you
machine.
don't need volume. You don't need, people talk about automation, you need hundreds, thousands off. That isn't the case at all. Comes with the scheduling software.
On to the next.
DMG Mori, Mark, who were on this stand. We did a little bit of a tour, but what machine are we talking about here?
Well, Paul reviewed this machine a little bit more than I did, but yeah, I mean, what machines don't they have on the stand?
Yeah, well, actually it was Joe, but carry
on. On the slimmer one. But yeah, it comes, again, similar to the MACH, comes with a gantry automation, which is something they're pushing heavily. But you still get the heavy box guideway of a DMG Mori. It's construction, it's Celos control. And
30 kilograms you can fit in that, 30 kilogram.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's a good seller for DMG Mori as well, isn't it?
It's also in a very small footprint, isn't it? And it's got quite a low height. And sometimes with gantry machines, you're trying to put them into factories and you're concerned about the height, but this doesn't.
What I like about gantries, I said it on the video, you're utilising space you're not paying for. Obviously in the sky, you're paying for floor space, not. So if you can go up rather than across, you're going to save money.
And I also like the fact that it's a fully integrated DMG Mori product, which seems to be a bit of a theme.
Right, next week, Criteria. Mark?
Yeah, Jose, Colin's speaking to Jose here, but they've got an event on at the AMRC. It's called a Lunch and Learn on the 23rd of May. So anything to do with aerospace.
Not interested in learning.
Maybe Spanish, because Jose's Spanish. So.
Didn't you do some videos with Kaisira during the week as well?
I didn't. Colin did the videos with Kaisira.
I think what they're pushing is bespoke tooling. Everyone knows SGS Kaisira is, well, certainly the SGS side of the business is standard product, but what these guys are pushing now is bespoke solutions for for a job rather than off-the-shelf product.
I think so, and I think that event, that you can register for that event on the Kaisira website.
Yes.
And they do have, when it comes to a range of tooling. Oh, we're on to the next one.
Okay, TW Ward is next. We actually met the guys. They came into our studio too. So, Mark, you're with TW Ward.
Well, they've got an array of different machines, but one I'd just like to mention is the Axile machine, which will come up in a moment. That Paul done a fantastic review. We've spoken about it at TW Ward, didn't we? And a customer actually bought the first one in the UK that we're going to go and film very, very soon. But you know, their machine's actually fantastic.
Well, I like to look at that XF 2000.
Superb.
We need to go and review that. That's
yeah.
It looks
24K spindle, I'm reading here, but use it full 5-axis. I love the way the table goes upside down. No, we've moved on from that now.
Great swarf evacuation.
Swarf evacuation, perfect.
Yeah.
Twin turret offering as well. I think what this video showed me is, I know you created it, but the length, the breadth of the range from Hyundai Weir is huge. And don't forget the Axile, this one. That's what
that's what
that
it's all
machine
about, yeah.
as a result of an MTD video.
Yeah.
Which,
one of many.
One of many, and that's a big, heavy-duty machine operating on a bridge, very heavy construction.
Yeah.
And I think you did a really good job on that.
Wow, that's
well, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Well done. Renishaw now, I think, was it? We actually passed the Renishaw stand, didn't we, when we did a walk around here?
Yeah, I wasn't on the Renishaw stand, but I did pass it with you, Lindsay, and we'll be moving on also to the FANUC solution that they've got the Equator on the back of RoboJob, automation, and the Equator.
What's the key to the benefit of this Equator, though? This is what I'd like to establish.
The big brother, the 500 they just launched, is that rather than have a CMM, a temperature-cooled room, for instance, you can have that on the shop floor.
So what about these fluctuations in temperature?
It allows for that, won't it?
It's programmed.
Yeah, it'll allow for that. It'll have thermal compensation and what have you. But what I like about it, you can measure the workpiece where the machining place is taking place. So you haven't got to take one off the machine, leave the machine down, get in a queue at the CMM. Yeah. No, you can now measure it next to your machine, essentially.
And is this simply then the next size up? This is the next big machine.
But this is the big brother. So you've got a 300 and you've got a 500, and you can see they're using a brake disc here, exactly the same on the small one to show you size.
And it's actually 400 in the Z, essentially, going up.
Next up, Autodesk, and this was, I think you spoke to Clinton at one point, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a great conversation with Clinton about the technologies that they were showcasing at MACH, and they had a different technology on each corner of their stand, and one that really impressed me was the robotics. So a lot of association with robotics at the show was for automation, but this actual robot is being used like a machine, if you like, to actually manufacture parts, whether that be subtractive or additive.
Can you remember when the acquisition came, the Delcam Autodesk? No secret, some people were saying, is it going to be a bad thing for the Delcam clients? But it's been a great thing, isn't it? You've got
Swarf,
you've got additive, you've got subtractive, you've got robot machining.
Yeah. I sense the main thing was about additive.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're on.
This is what I kind of mentioned here. You can see the Equator. Now, this Equator here, the Renishaw Equator, is actually part of a cell. So you've got the RoboJob, the robot, and the Equator. So it's a complete cell. So you're manufacturing the part, your automation, and it's passing it to the inspection. So the parts are coming off, inspected, complete, and ready to be shipped out to the customer.
I picked up a few benefits. Closed loop system, which you mentioned, which is very important. No scrap, longer running times without changing finishing tools.
Yeah, because it compensates for any tool wear. Yeah. So once it's inspected, it compensates for any tool wear, and it passes that information back to the machine, so it can.
Does it measure in cycle as well, or is
it measures in cycle, so it can compensate, and obviously you're keeping it to nominal tolerance.
And RoboDrills, how many do they sell in the UK?
And you can also put another machine onto the side of that as well, before I forget something.
Okay, next up, is this Chroma?
No.
Oh, sorry, ZCC.
Yeah, ZCC cutting tools, largest cutting tool manufacturer in China. These guys are huge, they're massive. They're making big waves in the UK currently, and they'll be a big player anytime now, really. They've got, part of a massive group, the Minmetal Group, one of the largest companies in China, believe it or not.
And I think Lindsay will like this. These cutting tools, these tips come in different colours, don't they?
Yeah, what a great idea. Why would you like that?
Why would I like that for?
We like colours.
Joking aside, why has nobody thought of that?
Thanks, Paul. Yes, I do like
colours. Why do they bring different colours?
Two benefits. One essentially, it chips off when you first use that edge. So just easily you can see how many edges you've got left on an insert. Quite often 30% has been, you know, thrown away. And the other one, the colours are for the material, so red being cast iron, yellow being stainless steel. But they saved the major car manufacturer 35%.
There's a benefit to colours. There's a benefit to having colours. Right, okay, we're on the Matsuura stand as well.
Yeah, Dominic, another new model. This is the 520, which they've had loads of success with a 4-piece pallet system on it. So basically, this is becoming a theme. It's the unmanned run. It's going home in the evening. But look at the size of the workpiece you can get on the 520.
They'll sell loads of these.
They will sell the 330 that they launched about a year ago. They've sold loads.
They sold all of the machines on the stand.
They did.
All sold.
They did.
This guy here is one of the best on camera as well. And I don't mean the guy on the right. I mean Dom on the left. But yeah, he's very good.
Left and right's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 520 has been a brilliant machine, and them adding this to this, I can't see anything short of a massive success for Matsuura.
Dominic, I did speak to Dominic, and he was so pleased with the show. It was a really great event for them.
And remember, all of these videos you can see on the mtd@mac.com microsite. Others from Matsuura as well. But like you say, Dominic did a great job, and we also looked at the other machines there.
Nice tie.
600 group.
Gio, you did.
Yeah, well, we looked at the relaunch, if you like, of the Colchester lathes, and there's such a large range of lathes, twin spindle, twin turret, and then we also looked, they're introducing Industry 4 that can be applied to any machine tool, whether that be a conventional lathe, conventional mill, and the cost association is very cheap, if you like. It's probably the wrong terminology to use, but affordable.
Yeah.
Affordable.
Yeah. But everyone knew the Tornado, but now the Typhoon range, and again, it's another machine that you mentioned to him. You're going into quite a saturated market here, and they are.
Are they making these in the UK?
I'm not 100% certain where the machines are manufactured, but it will be.
We're on to the Star stand. Sorry, Paul. Okay, talking about the SR32J.
Nice colour machine, that one. It's a blue. SR32J2 Type 2. This machine is a much bigger and heavier machine compared to its predecessor. Some of the stats
ER20.
ER20 call it.
So what's the advantage? More productivity, more heavy milling, more metal removal rates.
The driven tools have gone from 1.1 kilowatt up to 4 kilowatts.
Huge jump, isn't it?
Wow.
I guess, and that's where the ER20, the motor,
heavier webbing, more power on all the spindles. Guide bush and non-guide bush. Do you know what guide bush, non-guide bush is?
Actually, that's a good question for you.
I hope this one moves on quickly.
You save material, Paul.
It's more power. It's heavy. It's heavier by 1 ton than the previous.
It's incredible
machine.
for such a small machine.
Yeah.
So chip
You wouldn't
removal,
expect that.
swarf removal.
More difficult materials, challenging materials, but the 32 is going to be. This is going to be popular.
You know what? Just to add to that, I know we'll probably move on in a second, but it was really good when we spoke to the Star when we were on the stand. We spoke to all of their customers, and it was such a great positive review. Right, okay, we're talking about Big Kaiser. This is ITC.
Yeah, ITC. I discussed Big Kaiser, and the quality of this tool is absolutely outstanding. I mean, you look at the quality and the build and the intricacy of the tools, but also the applications that these tools are used for. And if you're looking to make or manufacture quality components accurately, you should really consider Big Kaiser.
Don't buy cheap tool holders. They're going, engineers out there, they'll go and spend 100,000, 200,000 on a machine tool and buy cheap tool holders.
I've got a question for you on this though. The boring heads, with interpolation and machines becoming so accurate these days, why do you need boring heads anymore?
Because components are getting even more accurate. You know, you're talking microns now.
Circle interpolation, that's a good question. I don't know if you can actually circle interpolate to a certain tolerance that, well, a very, very tight tolerance. I'm not sure that
every engineer I go and see, they say, I used to have a boring tool, now I can just do all my bores with one tool because I can circular interpolate.
Depends the tolerance and the component.
Exactly.
And what it's being used
next
for.
up, sorry to interrupt, NCMT, they welcomed us onto their homely stand. So who did this?
Yeah, I looked at this. This was 60 metres a minute in the rapids, but it's impressive.
Phenomenal.
50 metres in cutting feed. Now, 60 metres a minute, lots of machines do move at that speed, so that's nothing new. But one of the interesting points here when I challenged Andrew was about the fact that Maschine uses what they call their super GI functions with the Maschine control, which eliminate a lot of the movements, and it kind of streamlines the process and the axis movement, which is where you get the phenomenal
So it's got
speed.
FANUC drives and controls, but they've got the front end, which a lot of manufacturers do. The front end, the Maschine. But what I like about that, it's automation ready, isn't it? A lot of these machines, it looks like the robot's almost been like squeezed in there, but this is actually been designed.
When you talk
with that in mind.
Maschine, I mean, it is right at the top of the machine.
And it was super fast.
And Andrew, he knows his onions. What
he
a
does.
good
He doesn't like
engineer.
being on camera, but he
needs
really
to
knows.
learn, because that's
that
very
drilling
good.
cycle was phenomenal.
Right, next up we discussed Neil's little tool. So, yes,
Yeah,
it was all about deburring, wasn't it?
Well, they've just introduced a new deburring tool that goes down to 1 millimetre hole, so through hole, so which can deburr the hole from the front and the back in cycle on your machine tool. So effectively, every machine tool, it would come in handy for every machine shop, and they go up to 50mm diameter. Right. So instead of deburring it off the machine, you know, and also when you're deburring holes manually, you could potentially scrap them or over chamfer them.
And no two are ever the same either.
No, it saves a lot of time.
If you want to see that visually to understand exactly what they're doing, they've got a high presence on LinkedIn. So you just go onto the Cogsteel LinkedIn
or
page
watch the London Marathon on Sunday.
Oh yes. Yeah, he's running the London Marathon on Sunday, so we wish Neil the very best of luck.
Is that red wine he's drinking?
That's making Joe sweat.
It is red wine.
Dutch courage.
That's Swarf and Chips wine.
So next up is CUCA. Colin speaking to Catherine, who went on the stand.
I think we all had a good look. I like the big emphasis on the cobot.
Is that Eva?
Yeah, something like that. Isn't it? It's a collaborative robot, but that is the future, working with human beings and robotics. But what a great idea. Everyone's spending weeks getting their stand ready. These turn up on with a trailer, pull it in and go home.
Explain how Eva works to me.
Well, essentially it's a cobot, so it's working like that collaborative robot, but if you were to touch it, for instance, it would stop. Yeah. So it's basically taking out mundane tasks, plus things where you need precision. So maybe putting in a car wheel in the factory, you might use the robot and pull the robot with you, but the robot takes the weight of the wheel.
But the way that automation has gone through, it's amazing, and CUCA are doing so well.
Health and safety, repetitive strain injuries, stuff like that. Yeah. I think the biggest thing about this as well, though, is the event that they've got coming up on the 26th of April, I believe, which is in the Black Country. It's about automation and robotics. So if you missed MACH, then you can go and meet Eva there. Anyway, we're on.
Hexagon.
Yep. Well, what a group now, because you got Vero involved, but you've also got MSC Software, which are very much down to modelling solutions, lots of different software. So when these guys actually visit lots of customers, they've got a big portfolio of different products to put forward to them, especially with Vero and Hexagon MI.
There is a lot now, isn't there? There's a lot. Sometimes I look at it and I'm almost confused how much there is there.
Yeah. Solution providers, aren't they now? You can't just sell one box now. You've got to sell solutions for people. And these guys, they're looking to do everything.
And I do have to say, their stand was very, very well laid out. It was very clear. All the products were on the outside of the stand, weren't they? And you could go into the stand if you
inviting.
It was very inviting and very, very welcoming.
It's not easy to decide what to have on your stand to make the most of people.
So we're going to move on to your what was your
my highlight of the show. I met Swarf and Chips' biggest fan, and I want you to take a look. I have a very special guest here today. This is Sam Groves from Catron Engineering in Cheltenham, and it's extra special because you make these incredible works of art. You've made this all yourself, haven't you, Sam?
Yes, I have. Thank you. So I tried to make a scale model of the real deal of the MACH J200S.
And you've done an amazing job. So at Christmas, what happens, Sam?
So at Christmas, I make a scale model of a MACH each year and take a picture and write a letter to the MACH family in Japan.
And you get a letter back?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Well, also, just a quick question as well to you, Sam, is you've got a very special story regarding the company, because it's not just you, it's your dad's company and it was your grandfather's company as well. What's that story?
So we bought the first MACH in the UK from a company called Elgar Machine Tools in London.
Yeah, and that was in 1981. And I've seen the models as well that you've made. So how long does it take to make one of your creations?
So it depends on the model, and say if I've got like an open house at MACH and I want to make one for that, then for that I've got the prepper head, but it tends to roughly about 2 days, 3 days, not full on, but just little bits here and there, and it slowly builds up.
Wow, so you're going to look at a photograph and then you recreate it. You know what I absolutely love about this? There's actual swarf inside the model, and all the detailing. You've got the spindle turns, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, because we often say keep the spindle turning. And you've got the software here. What's this made out of? Because it can't really be Lego, can it?
So it's a USB stick that MACH gives away on their stands.
It's so good. Honestly, it looks incredible. You've done a brilliant job, so a massive well done to you.
Thank you very much.
You're a big fan of the show. What is it you enjoy about
I enjoy the latest technology and seeing what's about in the machine tool industry.
Oh, fantastic. Now, I know you know our tagline, so we're going to put this in a show, and you and I, let's face the camera and let's say our tagline. So what is it? Keep those spindles turning. Well, we're going to have a new presenter soon. I'm sure we will.
You're fired.
That's it, I'm done.
I thought the interesting thing was he said he wanted to actually build a Lego model of Joe, but there wasn't enough Lego.
I don't think he said that. It wasn't true.
No, he didn't.
Sorry,
Yeah, I'm just looking at the slim guy.
Sam was too lovely, he wouldn't say anything like that. And his father,
Unlike
it was
Paul,
so
of course.
lovely to meet them, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was
Gio?
speaking to Sam's father, and they purchased back in the day the first ever Mazak, and Sam's replicating the whole shop floor with Lego. And
Do you know what, Lego is expensive nowadays as well.
And it's so intricate. I mean, you know, he's cutting bits out of magazines, the Mazak magazines, and placing them to get the software control system. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Well,
Absolutely
hopefully
phenomenal.
we could do a video at
Definitely.
Catron Engineering.
The future.
Definitely.
Well, it is, isn't it?
Engineer the future, of course, yeah.
Okay, well, don't forget, we've got all our memories of Mac, but we'd love for you to put in the comments box below your favourite memories too.
And don't forget, part 2 will be next week, and you can see all of the videos from Mac on mtd@mac.com.
Yeah. Should we go back? Should we go for lunch now?
Good idea.
I feel it's a bit peckish.
Not hungry.
No.
I'm genuinely not hungry.
At last, a bit of peace and quiet.